Imagine waking up one morning and learning that your mother has died. You travel to the funeral, sit beside the coffin, drink coffee and smoke a cigarette. But you do not cry. This is how Albert Camus' The Stranger begins. The novel tells the story of Meursault, an ordinary office clerk in Algiers. He appears calm, detached, and almost indifferent. He mainly describes the glaring sunlight, the heat, the sea, and the exhaustion of his body. He rarely explains his feelings. When his mother dies, Meursault travels to the retirement home where she spent the final years of her life. During the vigil, he keeps the coffin closed, drinks coffee, smokes, and watches the people in the room. The next day, the funeral takes place beneath an unbearable sun. Meursault is mainly exhausted by the heat. The fact that he shows no visible grief will later become crucial. The very next day, he meets his former colleague, Marie. They go swimming, watch a comedy at the cinema, and spend the night together. Later, Marie asks him whether he loves her. Meursault replies that the word has no real meaning for him. He probably does not love her. He could still marry her, though.
I could marry you if that's what you want.
Meursault does not pretend to feel emotions that he does not have. That is exactly what makes him so disturbing to the people around him. Raymond, an aggressive man who has problems with his former mistress, lives in the same apartment building. Meursault helps him write a letter intended to humiliate her. Not because he approves of Raymond's behavior, he is simply indifferent to it. Later, Meursault, Marie, and Raymond travel to a beach house. There, they encounter two Arab men. One of them is the brother of Raymond's former mistress. A confrontation begins. Raymond is wounded with a knife, but the situation calms down for the moment. Meursault returns to the beach alone. The sun burns down. The light blinds him. Sweat runs across his face. One of the Arab men stands before him holding a knife. Sunlight flashes from the blade. Meursault draws Raymond's revolver and fires. The man falls to the ground. Then Meursault fires 4 more shots into the motionless body. From that moment on, the novel changes. Meursault is arrested and put on trial. But the trial soon becomes about more than the murder. People talk about his mother's funeral. The director of the retirement home reports that Meursault did not cry. Others mention the coffee, the cigarettes, and his visit to the cinema the following day. For the prosecution, Meursault is not merely a murderer. He is a man who refused to display the emotions society expected from him. His behavior appears cold and inhuman to the jury. The murder itself almost fades into the background. Meursault is also condemned because he did not mourn his mother. Eventually, he is sentenced to death. In prison, Meursault waits for his execution and reflects on life, death, and the world. A prison chaplain tries to persuade him to believe in God. But Meursault refuses. He does not want hope in another life. When the chaplain continues to pressure him, Meursault erupts for the first time.
Why don't you want to use?
He shouts that every human being must die, regardless of how they lived or what hopes they once had. Now Meursault realizes something decisive. The world gives him no answers. It does not explain why people suffer, why they die, or why certain events happen. The universe is indifferent to human beings. This realization lies at the heart of Camus' philosophy of the absurd. Human beings search for meaning, order, and justice, but the world remains silent. The absurd arises from this contradiction. Yet Camus does not say that life is therefore worthless. Quite the opposite. If there is no predetermined meaning, then we must accept life as it is, without illusions, false hopes, or self-deception. Meursault eventually accepts his situation. He remembers the sea, warm nights, and simple moments from his life. Shortly before his death, he feels completely free for the first time. The Stranger is therefore not merely a story about a murder. The novel shows how society treats a person who refuses to follow its rules. Meursault is condemned not only because he killed someone, but because he refuses to pretend to feel emotions he does not have. He is a stranger among other people, but he is also a stranger in a world that has no recognizable meaning. Camus' central question is, how should we live when the universe gives us no answers? His answer is radical. We must accept the truth of our condition and continue living anyway. Consciously, honestly, and without illusions. Because life has no predetermined meaning, it is up to us to experience every single moment for ourselves.